And now, here's Dialogue, a podcast with Gene Richard from KBZE 105.9 FM. Today's show is being sponsored by...
As a lifelong resident of Thibodaux, I want to watch Thibodaux grow and succeed. I think I have the passion and the energy to keep Thibodaux moving forward. I've always put the community first. I think that's big. I do have infrastructure issues, safety concerns, culture, recreation, community, and growth. I want all those things. And I think I have the experience and the knowledge to help Thibodaux grow and to help Thibodaux prosper in the future.
The city of Thibodaux faces many challenges due to decreasing resources and increasing demand for services. We must be committed to making infrastructure investments today for the citizens to reap the benefits for years to come. Please vote Kevin Clement for mayor on November 8th.
You know, I forgot one thing, man. I'm used to doing this on radio. Now we're doing it on TV. I got to dress better. I got to act better. I got to look at the right area. I got to say the right thing, but I forgot my coffee. And next time I got to bring my coffee. But anyway, we'll get used to this. It's a little new to me and a little new to you as a listener, as a watcher, not just a listener. But we'll get used to it. And before you know it, we'll have dialogue back on a regular basis. With me this morning, I've got candidate for mayor, Mr. Kevin Clement. And I've been listening to all the forums. I've been either watching them or attending them personally. Been listening to all of the ads and everything else that goes with running for mayor. But first, before we get into that, I want to talk to Kevin a little bit about recreation, because that's what he's doing right now for the city of Thibodaux. And Kevin, you know, you and I go way back on dialogue. We were talking, we had you on once a month, and one thing that always got me, you said, we're going to try anything. Now, we may not make it, and the public may not want it, but we're going to try it. Yeah. And when you look at what's going on in the city right now, recreation-wise, when you look at the number of kids involved, the number of programs, man, you got a full-time job.
Full-time job is an understatement. So, you know, we do this with a group of 3, and we have parks departments that's a group of about 18, 19, but in recreation, we're a group of 3, and one of those is part-time. So it comes down to Kevin Clement and April Danos Corto actually doing all the work. When we started this in 2010, we had a decent program. We had probably 18 separate programs from adolescents to senior citizens. Presently, as we speak, we have 33 programs. Wow. We've been really creative and initiated a whole bunch of good stuff. Haven't had any fail yet. And I think it's because of the dedication and the work that we do. And I think the community has bought in. You know, I said this the other day at a spot where I was, I don't remember where, but in 2010 we had 550 kids playing baseball in our city. We had 50 teams and we had 25 sponsorships. I knew right away, top 3, one of them was business involvement and get the business community back, bought into our style, right? Minus the COVID years, we've increased every year. This past year in 2022, we had 1,155 kids playing baseball. We had 115 teams playing baseball. We had fields inside of fields, and we had 140 sponsorships. That's businesses, that's small businesses, mom and pop shops that have bought into what we do. They've realized we have improved the quality of life for their kids. We're taking their kids off of the streets, off of the sofas, right? You know, the thumbs are not their only muscle getting used these days, and it's truly remarkable. So, you know, when you think about that, and that's just one program. 7 years ago, we created a swim team.
Look at it now.
Look at it now. We haven't lost a swim meet in 2.5 years. How is that possible? It's possible because we put our nose down and we went to work and we did things the right way. And it's all about the process. You know, I've heard a basketball coach say this the other day. You know, we work at this thing for 362 days a year. We get 31 games. It's about the process. It's not about the games. You're going to win, you're going to lose. It's about the process. And I can honestly say at Thibodaux Recreation, we've improved that process every single year. Not only are we successful with our programs, but physically, we've built 7 different concession areas, bathroom areas throughout our parks. We've created 3 parks. Imagine that. We've created 3 parks. We have a dog park across the bayou over there at Harang Auditorium. There's 10 people there every time you pass.
That's right.
It's one of the huge wins we've done for the city. That was thrown together just kind of like out of my brain. We need something for the animal lovers in our town, and it just took off. So, you know, splash pads. We've built splash pads. Who would ever thought we'd have a splash pad in Thibodaux? Who'd ever thought we'd have a Olympic-sized swimming pool, brand new, that saves the citizens of Thibodaux $120,000 a year in chemicals and water, because we renovated it and we knew what we were doing. So, yeah, really, really proud of the work we've done over the past 12 years in recreation.
Before we get into talking about the mayor's race, have you heard the word pickleball?
Unfortunately, I have.
And tell us where that's going.
So pickleball across the United States is the fastest growing sport in the United States. We've had requests for pickleball probably for a year and a half, 2 years now. We've recently painted 3 courts under our pavilion at Pelche Park. We're in the process of striping all of our tennis courts right now, and we have 4 courts throughout the city. We're going to stripe them for pickleball so people can go out there and grow. I consider it, because I'm an old man now, it's an old man's tennis. It's a cross between badminton, ping pong, and tennis, and people are flipping out over pickleball.
I had one of your closest friends talk about it the other day, and I said, well, I got to ask Kevin about pickleball. But anyway, let's get on to a little bit to the mayor's race, and of course you talked about all the good we've been able to accomplish with the recreation department here in the city of Thibodaux. So you kind of been fixated on that. Yeah. Now you want to change a little bit.
Yeah.
What possessed you to want to take that step and move forward into the mayor's slot?
I've asked myself that question a lot over the last 5 or 6 years. This is something also that it wasn't an overnight decision. About 5.5, 6 years ago, I had friends of mine come and start dropping that, hey, you ought to run for mayor. Hey, you ought to think about running for mayor. And I blew it off. I really didn't consider it. And then about 3.5 years ago, I started thinking, I have a passion for the city. I've lived here all my life. I've raised 4 kids here. We've invested. My wife and I and all 4 of my kids graduated high school here, graduated from Nicholls State University. We just have the energy and the passion and we have the want to do things well for the city of Thibodaux, and I want to see Thibodaux succeed. So after heartfelt discussions and after some serious questions, my wife and I said, let's do it. Let's go for it. We can better our city. We can do better for our community. And, you have the energy to do it. So then you got to come up with a plan. Then you have to come up with a strategy. And over the last 3 or 4 years, I've been extremely blessed. I've had a network of people that have seen the work I've done in 12 years. They've seen the progress we've made, all the different programs that we innovate and that we produce. And it was just a natural, seamless fit. I know how the city works. I've been in every one of these budget meetings for 12 years. I've been in every single department. I know the details and the inner workings and what it takes to communicate amongst departments, with fire departments, with each individual fire company. I think I have the experience. I think I have the knowledge to get it done.
Having said that, just in my term here in the city of Thibodaux, we've had Mayor Harang, we've had Mayor Kawet, we've had Mayor Eshtay. They've all got visions. They all had visions, and of course, Mayor Tommy now is term limited out, and he's that was one of the things that came about as a result of him being mayor. Said we needed term limits for mayor, so he's term limited out now. We've got a chance for there's a new mayor that will be coming in. What's your vision for the city?
My vision is to provide affordable sewer services, gas services for our city, keep our citizens safe, and continue to grow. We are 5.5 square miles. I've said this before. I don't think there's going to be an interstate running through Thibodaux in my lifetime.
God, I hope not.
I don't. And then if there is the possibility of that happening, where's it going to run to? It's not going to stop in Thibodaux. That doesn't make any sense. So you have to deal with the constrictions you have, right? I want Thibodaux to grow. I want people in our town to prosper. I think our businesses can use a little reinvention, rejuvenation, maybe. It's going to be hard enough during this first 6 months to keep our head afloat with just maintaining the infrastructure of the city, the roads, the bridges that we all know need work, the roundabouts that are coming, that's in the plans, keeping the drainages and the water and our citizens safe. So, my vision is keep this small town sense of community, move forward, and let everybody have a great quality of life.
Kevin, that's a great point. And when you look at Thibodaux, and I'll read the LMA, the magazines that we get for the small towns in Louisiana. A lot of these small towns are struggling. Yeah. Really, really struggling, and we're very, very fortunate. And I always go back to the thing that Thibodaux is a bedroom, in some ways, a bedroom community. Number one. Yep. Number two, people here, we've got it designated as a retirement community. Mm-hmm. People here in Thibodaux, and you've been to the town hall meetings, and so have I. They're about quality of life.
Absolutely.
They're about, you make sure we don't have much crime. You make sure the roads are good. You make sure I can go to Nichols. You make sure I can go see some plays. Yep. You make sure I can shop. Make sure we got banks. All of those things.
Absolutely.
And so that makes us unique in the fact that, yes, we got to grow. And I like the way you said it. We do have to grow.
Absolutely.
But we got to be careful because as well as we grow, we got to maintain that hometown attitude.
Absolutely. I said this 2 nights ago. I remember walking down this main street, or we're on the corner of Green and West 3rd here, but I remember walking down Main Street when I was a young boy. I remember the Christmas lights being strung from building to building.
That's right.
I remember Morgan and Lindsay. I remember who my first T-ball coach was.
Man, you're older than I thought.
Well, yes, I know. I remember the people who had an influence in my life, right? For 12 years, we have consistently done that with the youth of our community. And we have so many programs that touch the baby and me classes and the disabled kids, the special needs people, and our senior citizens. But let's face it, our focus is on the ages from 6 to 18. And we have programs, we have opportunities, and we literally have made memories for all these people in our city. And these memories are going to stay with us. I've had the opportunity to leave Thibodaux several times. I've never wanted to. I always wanted to stay here. And it's because I want the same things for my children and now my grandchildren that I had when I was that age.
Listeners, you heard it from him. Kevin Clement, candidate for mayor of the city of Thibodaux. We're going to be back, and we're going to talk about the city some more.
Hello, I'm Kevin Clement, and I want to be your next mayor for the city of Thibodaux. I was born, raised, and educated right here in our city. You may have seen me at St. Joseph Church, Pelche Park, football games, or either on the campus of Nichols State University or our local high schools. I have worked for the last 12 years as a department director for the city of Thibodaux. I want to be your mayor because I believe in the citizens and this community. Let's get together. If you see me out and about, walking your neighborhoods, at events, don't be shy. Come introduce yourselves. Together, we can keep putting our city of Thibodaux first and move our community forward.
Well, hey, everybody, your old friend is back, and I'm keeping up with technology. Hello, friends, it's Gene Richard, inviting you to join me for Dialogue, a video and audio podcast presented by KBZE 105.9 FM. Look for the podcast on my Facebook page, on the KBZE YouTube page, and on the Thibodaux Now Facebook page. The audio podcast will be available on these social media apps, Podbean and TuneIn. Stay up to date with Thibodaux News on Dialogue, the podcast. We're going to change it up once a week and hopefully more as it grows in viewer and listenership.